Welcome to this journey where we're going to explore something truly meaningful and often deeply personal. Today, we are here to talk about the journey we're all on as we grow older, the fears, the challenges, and the hard-earned wisdom that come with each passing year. When we think about the golden years, we imagine relaxation, family, and contentment. But the reality isn't always so simple. For many of our elderly loved ones, life brings new and sometimes overwhelming fears. In this video, we're here to unpack these concerns, to truly understand what they are, and to think about ways we can help. And if you're listening today as someone in your senior years, I hope this conversation feels like it's just for you. One of the biggest fears among the elderly is loneliness, and let's be honest, it's a fear that's often silent. After years of being surrounded by loved ones, friends, or colleagues, a time comes when life slows down, people drift apart, and the once bustling world around you quiets. It's easy to feel like you're alone with these thoughts, and sometimes that's one of the hardest things to admit. But let me tell you, loneliness is a shared feeling, and it's more common than you might think. In fact, it's something many seniors face across the world. If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone, and it might be comforting to know that many people share the same thoughts. As we go through these fears, from health concerns to financial stability to the idea of losing independence, remember that acknowledging these feelings doesn't make you any less strong. If anything, it makes you brave to recognize them and open up to the solutions and support that are out there. This isn't just about survival. It's about finding peace, meaning, and fulfillment at every stage of life. So, as we go through each of these challenges, don't hesitate to share your thoughts with us in the comments. Whether you've experienced these feelings yourself or know someone who has, you're not just a listener here. You're part of a community that values your voice and experiences. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new video drops. Your support truly makes a difference. If you found value in this video, a like and share would mean a lot in helping me reach more people with these important lessons. And I'd love to hear from you. If you're enjoying this topic, leave a 1 in the comments, or a 0 if you'd like to see something different. Your feedback helps me improve and bring you the content you want. Now, let's begin by talking about one of the most common, yet often hidden, fears among seniors, the fear of loneliness. Point 1. The fear of loneliness. As we age, one of the most profound fears that often sneaks up on us is the fear of loneliness. It's something that's hard to put into words because it doesn't hit all at once. It comes quietly, sometimes almost invisibly, as life slows down and the people we're used to seeing every day start to drift away. Children grow up, friends move on or pass away, and suddenly, the once bustling home becomes quieter. This change isn't easy, and it can leave us feeling more alone than ever. Loneliness isn't just about being by ourselves. It's that feeling of not being truly seen or heard. After spending a lifetime working hard, raising a family, and being at the center of things, the silence can feel unsettling. The laughter and busy noise fade, and it's replaced by a sense of emptiness that's hard to shake. This shift can be especially tough because, often, loneliness isn't something that we can just fix. It takes effort, but there are ways to find connection and companionship even in later years. One of the biggest challenges of dealing with loneliness is that it affects more than just our mood. Did you know that loneliness can also impact our physical health? Studies have shown that prolonged feelings of isolation can weaken the immune system, lead to high blood pressure, and increase the risk of heart problems. This is because loneliness and isolation can create stress in our bodies, slowly taking a toll on our physical health. Just knowing that can make this fear feel even heavier, because it's not just an emotional struggle, it's something that can affect our entire well-being. But here's the good news. Loneliness isn't something that we're powerless to fight. One of the most powerful ways to address it is to take small steps toward connection. If you're someone who enjoys meeting new people, consider joining a local senior group or a community center. Many places offer activities like book clubs, exercise classes, and even trips designed for seniors. Even 1 or 2 friendly faces can make a world of difference. It can be as simple as a weekly game of chess or a coffee chat with a neighbor. These connections, no matter how small, remind us that we're still part of a community, that we still have something to offer, and that we're valued. Sometimes, the simplest actions can break that feeling of isolation. If you're able to, reach out to family members, even if it's just for a short call or a quick check-in. Let them know you're thinking of them and that you'd love to hear from them. Kids and grandkids may be busy, but when they realize how meaningful those calls are, they're often more than happy to connect. And if you're someone who isn't used to reaching out, that's okay. These things take time and courage, but it's worth it. It's also helpful to find joy in things that are close to home. Taking up a small hobby, like gardening, reading, or even trying out some gentle stretching exercises, can make the days feel more fulfilling. These small joys give us something to look forward to, even if we're spending time on our own. Maybe you enjoy sitting in a sunny spot with a good book or listening to music that takes you back to a happy time. These little moments can bring peace and remind us that life's simple pleasures are still within our reach. But remember, loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's something that many people experience. If you're listening and these thoughts resonate with you, you're not alone in this. Many others share the same struggles and are finding ways to bring a bit more connection and warmth back into their lives. If you have a story about a time you felt lonely and overcame it, please feel free to share it in the comments. You might find that others have been through similar things, and your story could make a difference for someone else. One of the most important things to remember is that loneliness doesn't define you. It's something that's part of the journey, and while it may be challenging, it's also something that can lead to moments of self-discovery. You may find strengths and interests you never knew you had, and you may end up forming connections in unexpected ways. If you're someone who loves to write, consider keeping a journal to explore your thoughts. Writing can be a powerful tool to process feelings, and it's also a way to leave a legacy, a piece of yourself for your family to cherish. So, let's look at loneliness not as an end, but as a turning point. It's an opportunity to reimagine what connection looks like, to seek out new friendships, and to cherish the time we have with ourselves. The golden years may come with challenges, but they also bring the gift of perspective, of understanding that life is precious and that every moment matters. If this part of the conversation touches something in you, or if you found your own ways to stay connected, feel free to share your thoughts below. You never know who might need to hear your story. Loneliness may be a part of aging, but together, we can find ways to feel a little more connected, a little more understood, and maybe a little less alone. Point 2. The fear of losing health and independence. Another powerful fear that often surfaces with age is the fear of losing health and, along with it, our independence. Health is something we rely on every day without even thinking about it, until it starts to slip away. When we're young, good health feels almost like a given. We move freely, take on activities, and handle life's demands without much concern. But as the years go by, health becomes more fragile, and suddenly, the simple acts of daily life feel more challenging. This loss can feel like a loss of self, making it one of the most deeply felt fears in later years. The idea of losing our independence is connected closely with health. For most of our lives, independence is something we take pride in. We value being able to care for ourselves, make our own choices, and live life on our terms. As our physical abilities begin to change, though, the possibility of needing assistance can feel daunting. Relying on others, especially our children or loved ones, can bring up feelings of guilt and sadness. We may fear that we're becoming a burden, adding to their already busy lives, and that fear can make us hesitant to ask for help when we truly need it. This fear is often complicated by the fact that health issues can be unpredictable. One moment, you're managing just fine, and the next, you might find yourself facing something you never anticipated. Conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or arthritis can slowly limit our freedom, while more serious conditions like heart disease or mobility issues can dramatically alter the way we live. This unpredictability is unsettling. It can leave us feeling like we're walking a tightrope, not knowing when our independence might be taken away. But here's the good news. Losing some physical abilities doesn't mean losing all independence. There are many ways to adapt, stay strong, and even prevent certain health issues from taking over our lives. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle is a powerful tool, even in later years. Simple exercises, like walking, stretching, or gentle yoga, can make a significant difference in keeping the body flexible and reducing health risks. Regular movement strengthens our muscles, keeps our joints moving, and improves blood flow, which all contribute to a sense of strength and control over our bodies. In addition to physical activity, eating well can also play a crucial role. As we age, our bodies need different things to stay strong. A diet rich in vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and whole grains can support not only our physical health but also our mood and energy levels. Small adjustments, like drinking enough water and choosing heart-healthy fats, can make a noticeable difference over time. These healthy habits don't just support our health, they empower us to live more fully, to keep doing the things we love, and to stay connected to the life we want. And let's not forget the importance of regular checkups. Sometimes, we might feel tempted to avoid the doctor, especially if we're worried about what they might say. But early detection is often the key to preventing small health issues from becoming big ones. Routine checkups give us the chance to catch things early, take action, and give ourselves the best possible chance at a healthier, more independent life. Think of these visits as an investment in your future, a chance to keep enjoying life's moments with a little more peace of mind. If this resonates with you, it's worth considering. Have you been putting off any part of your self-care, like exercise, a better diet, or those regular doctor visits? If so, you're not alone, and it's never too late to start taking those steps. Feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Sometimes, just hearing from others can be a reminder that taking care of ourselves is truly worth it. While our physical health is important, staying mentally and emotionally strong is equally essential to our sense of independence. If we face health issues with a positive mindset and a determination to keep adapting, we're less likely to feel helpless. You might consider picking up activities that stimulate your mind, like reading, puzzles, or even learning something new. Engaging the mind can help us stay sharp, boost our mood, and give us a greater sense of control. For many, adapting to new routines and making adjustments to daily life is what helps us hold onto a sense of independence, even if some physical tasks become harder. If cooking a full meal becomes too tiring, maybe there's a simpler way to prepare nutritious food. Or, if getting out to meet friends is difficult, perhaps video calls or phone chats could fill that gap. Small changes can help us feel less restricted and more in charge of our own lives. If you've experienced a change in health and found ways to adapt, your story might inspire someone else. Feel free to share it here. Together, we can remind one another that independence isn't just about what we can do physically. It's about how we approach life with courage, adaptability, and self-care. Finally, remember that independence is not something we lose all at once. It's something we can redefine at every stage. Whether it's finding new ways to keep active, adjusting our routines, or reaching out for support, these choices are signs of strength. They show that we are still actively living and choosing our path. Aging doesn't mean giving up our independence. It means finding new ways to embrace it. And as we face these challenges, let's keep moving forward with gratitude for the freedom we have and for the strength it takes to keep going. If any part of this conversation resonates with you, feel free to comment below. Losing some physical independence doesn't mean losing our voice, our choices, or our dignity. We're all in this journey together, and by sharing our thoughts and stories, we can lift each other up and face these fears with courage and hope. Point 3. The fear of financial insecurity. Another powerful fear that accompanies aging is the fear of financial insecurity. Money isn't something we like to think about too much, but it's hard to ignore its importance, especially as we get older. Many of us spend our entire lives working, saving, and ensuring we had enough to live comfortably and support our families. But as retirement approaches, questions about finances start to loom larger. Will my savings last? Will I be able to cover medical bills or unexpected expenses? Will I need to rely on my children for support? Financial independence is something we hold dear because it represents freedom and dignity. Being able to take care of ourselves, pay our bills, and manage our own expenses gives us a sense of control over our lives. But without a regular income from a job, financial stability can feel shaky. This uncertainty can create stress and fear, especially in a world where the cost of living and healthcare can be high. The fear of running out of money or needing to ask for help can keep us up at night, worrying about the future. For many, the thought of relying on family members for financial support is uncomfortable. We don't want to be a burden, and we certainly don't want to add stress to our children's lives. We want them to thrive, focus on their own families, and live their lives without feeling responsible for us financially. This feeling can lead to a lot of guilt, even if our children are willing to help. It's a tough balance, accepting help when we need it while also wanting to maintain our independence. So, what can we do to manage this fear? First, let's talk about the importance of creating a realistic financial plan. Even in retirement, budgeting can be a powerful tool to help us feel more secure and in control. Start by reviewing monthly expenses and seeing if there are areas where adjustments can be made. Sometimes, small changes can make a big difference. Cutting back on things that aren't necessary or finding more affordable options can help stretch your resources and relieve some of the financial pressure. It can also be helpful to create a separate fund specifically for healthcare or unexpected expenses. Medical needs can be unpredictable, but having a little set aside can provide peace of mind. Some people find comfort in putting aside a certain amount each month for healthcare costs or emergencies. This way, you're prepared for the unexpected, and you're less likely to need to reach out for help when something comes up. Another key aspect of financial security in later years is understanding the resources available to us. In the U.S., there are many programs designed to support seniors financially, from Social Security to Medicare, Medicaid, and even various state assistance programs. These resources can help cover basic expenses, healthcare needs, and even provide some additional support if finances are tight. Don't hesitate to explore these options, even if it feels a bit intimidating. Many people have found that these programs make a big difference in their quality of life. Some seniors also choose to explore part-time work or consulting opportunities if they're physically able and interested. While this may not be an option for everyone, it's a choice that can provide additional income and a sense of purpose. It can be as simple as offering guidance in your field of expertise, volunteering, or even finding small, flexible jobs that fit your schedule. This option isn't for everyone, but for some, it's a way to stay active, engaged, and financially comfortable. It's important to remember that financial security isn't just about how much money we have. It's about how we use it. Living within our means, finding joy in simple things, and appreciating what we have can make a big difference in our day-to-day happiness. The golden years don't have to be about lavish spending. They're about savoring the small moments and finding peace in a life well lived. If there's something you enjoy, a hobby, a daily ritual, a favorite meal, don't hold back from treating yourself to it now and then. You've worked hard, and this stage of life is about cherishing what truly matters. If financial insecurity is something you've thought about, feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. You may find that others share similar concerns, and sometimes, just knowing we're not alone can ease our minds. Another thing to remember is that financial support from loved ones isn't something to be ashamed of. Our families love us, and they want to see us happy and well. Accepting help, if it's genuinely needed and offered with love, doesn't diminish our worth or independence. It's a part of life, and as much as we've supported others, sometimes we, too, need support. For many, this can be an opportunity to grow even closer with family, showing vulnerability and trust. If you've had to rely on family at any point, or if you're preparing to lean on them more in the future, please share your insights below. Your story could be a comfort to others who may be struggling with the same concerns. Lastly, remember that the true value of our golden years doesn't lie in the size of our bank accounts, but in the richness of our lives. Financial worries may feel heavy, but they don't define us. By taking proactive steps and finding peace in what we have, we can continue to live these years with gratitude, joy, and a sense of security that comes from within. Point 4. The fear of losing influence and position within the family. One of the quieter but deeply felt fears in our later years is the fear of losing influence and position within our own families. For most of our lives, we've been the pillars, the decision-makers, the people our families look to for advice, guidance, and sometimes even a comforting word. But as our children grow into adults, build their own families, and become independent, our roles start to shift. Suddenly, we're no longer the center of decision-making, and it can feel as though our voices aren't as valued as they once were. This shift can be unsettling, to say the least. The bonds we've spent years building with our children and grandchildren begin to feel different, and sometimes, it can feel as though we're sidelined. There's a sense of being overlooked or even forgotten, especially when family members don't seek our opinions or guidance like they used to. This isn't because they don't care, but because they're also adjusting to their own roles and responsibilities. Still, this change can bring up feelings of loss, sadness, and even isolation. Losing our position within the family is also a deeply personal experience, as it often makes us question our value. For so many years, we've been defined by our roles as parents, grandparents, and elders. We've been the source of knowledge and comfort, and we take pride in this position. When our influence seems to fade, it's natural to wonder, do they still need me? Am I still relevant? But here's something important to remember. Just because our roles are changing doesn't mean we're no longer valued. It simply means we're entering a new stage in the family dynamic. Instead of being the primary decision makers, we're becoming supporters, confidants, and wise observers. And while this shift may be challenging, it also opens the door for a new kind of connection, one based on respect, understanding, and shared experiences. One way to navigate this fear is by adapting the way we communicate with our family. As parents and grandparents, we're used to offering advice freely and expecting it to be taken seriously. However, as our children and grandchildren grow older, they also want to make their own choices, learn from their own mistakes, and follow their own paths. By shifting our communication style from advice-giving to gentle, respectful conversation, we can create an environment where our voice is still heard, but in a way that feels supportive rather than directive. For example, instead of saying, "You should do this," try something softer like, "Have you thought about this option?" Or, "When I went through something similar, this is what helped me." These small adjustments can make a big difference in how our family members receive our input. They may feel more open to listening, knowing that we're there to offer insights without pushing them in a specific direction. Another way to maintain influence in the family is by embracing the role of a listener. Sometimes, our family members simply want someone to hear them out without judgment or advice. By being present, genuinely listening, and showing understanding, we create a space where our loved ones feel comfortable coming to us, not just for solutions, but for support. This shift can bring us closer together and reinforce our importance within the family in a way that feels natural and fulfilling. If you've experienced this shift in family roles, feel free to share your thoughts or strategies in the comments. Your insights might resonate with others who are going through similar transitions, and together, we can find comfort in knowing that this change is part of the journey. In addition to communication, it's helpful to find fulfillment outside of family life as well. By cultivating interests, hobbies, and friendships, we can build a sense of purpose that doesn't solely depend on our role within the family. Whether it's joining a local club, volunteering, or taking up a hobby that we've always wanted to try, these activities remind us that our lives are rich and meaningful beyond our roles as parents or grandparents. They give us a sense of identity and joy that comes from within. For some, this might mean gardening, painting, or learning something new. For others, it might be as simple as reading a good book, meeting a friend for coffee, or going on a nature walk. These activities don't just fill our time. They enrich our lives and make us feel more grounded. By finding joy in things we love, we cultivate a sense of inner strength that helps us navigate family changes with more ease and positivity. Remember, being an elder in the family means we've earned the respect and love of our loved ones. While our influence may not look the same as it once did, it's still there, woven into the family's values, traditions, and memories. Every moment we've shared, every piece of wisdom we've offered, it all contributes to the family's foundation. Even if our family members don't ask for advice as often, they carry our influence with them in countless ways. Lastly, embrace the fact that stepping back can actually strengthen our relationships. Giving our children and grandchildren the space to grow and learn on their own allows us to appreciate them as the unique individuals they are. This new perspective can bring a deep sense of pride, watching them navigate life and knowing that we've been a part of their journey. If this resonates with you, or if you found your own ways to adapt to these family changes, please share your experiences below. Sometimes, letting go of certain expectations can lead to a closer, more authentic connection with our loved ones. Remember, your presence, your wisdom, and your love are irreplaceable, no matter how roles change. Our influence may shift, but our place in the family remains essential, respected, and cherished. Point 5. The fear of becoming a burden. Perhaps the most profound fear many of us face in our later years is the fear of becoming a burden to our loved ones. After spending so much of our lives taking care of others, raising children, supporting family, and being there in times of need. The idea that we might one day require similar care can be deeply unsettling. We cherish our independence, and the last thing we want is to feel like we're imposing on our children or family members. This fear can be overwhelming, often bringing up feelings of guilt, helplessness, and sadness. The thought of needing help with everyday tasks, whether it's cooking, bathing, or even walking, can make us feel vulnerable. When we were younger, we moved through life without thinking twice about these things. Now, as we age, our bodies may not cooperate as they once did, and the thought of depending on others for these basic needs can be a tough pill to swallow. This fear often isn't just about physical dependence. It's about maintaining our dignity and self-respect. A big part of the fear of becoming a burden comes from our awareness of how busy our loved ones are. In today's fast-paced world, our children juggle careers, families, and other responsibilities, and the thought of adding our care to their already full plates can feel daunting. We worry that our needs might disrupt their lives or cause them stress. This worry, coupled with the fear of losing independence, can make us reluctant to ask for help even when we need it. But here's something important to consider. Our loved ones don't see us as a burden. They want us to be healthy, happy, and safe. The same way we cared for them when they were young, they now want to be there for us. It may be hard to accept help, but it's a natural part of the family cycle. We supported them, and now they're ready to support us. This doesn't mean we've lost our independence. It just means we're embracing a new kind of relationship, one that's built on mutual love and respect. One of the best ways to handle the fear of becoming a burden is by taking proactive steps to maintain our health. While we can't control everything, we can focus on regular exercise, a balanced diet, and routine health checkups. Keeping ourselves as healthy as possible is one of the greatest gifts we can give to ourselves and our families. By staying active and engaged in life, we're not only preserving our independence, but also reducing the level of assistance we may need in the future. If you've ever thought about this fear, know that you're not alone. Many seniors share the same concerns, and it's perfectly natural to feel this way. Taking small steps, like daily walks or gentle exercises, can make a big difference in maintaining our strength and flexibility. A little effort each day can help us keep our bodies moving and our spirits high. And if you're already doing these things, feel free to share your tips in the comments. Others may find inspiration in your journey. Another valuable way to approach this fear is by planning for the future. It's never easy to think about needing help, but preparing for it can bring peace of mind. Whether it's setting aside a small fund for potential caregiving needs, discussing options with family, or exploring resources like in-home care or assisted living, having a plan can help us feel more in control. Many families find that open conversations about future needs create a stronger bond, making it clear that support will be there, if and when it's needed. It's also worth remembering that accepting help doesn't mean we're losing our independence. It simply means we're adapting. Independence is about more than physical ability. It's about making choices that align with our well-being. Sometimes, accepting help allows us to live more independently by ensuring we're safe, healthy, and comfortable. Embracing this idea can take the weight off our shoulders and help us enjoy life's moments without feeling like we're burdening anyone. If you have a story about receiving help from family or friends, consider sharing it here. Often, we find that opening up and sharing our experiences helps others who may be struggling with similar feelings. You might discover that others are walking the same path, and your insights could bring them comfort. Another aspect of this fear is the emotional toll of dependency. We want to be able to contribute, to feel like we're still valuable members of the family, rather than recipients of care. One way to address this is by focusing on the things we can still do and finding ways to contribute. Maybe you have a hobby, skill, or wisdom that you can share with others. Being engaged, whether it's cooking a family recipe, helping grandchildren with their homework, or offering advice, keeps us connected and reinforces our sense of purpose. At the end of the day, being part of a family is a give-and-take experience. Our loved ones want to help us just as much as we want to be there for them. It's a cycle of care, and it's based on love, not obligation. Allowing them to help isn't a burden. It's a way for them to show appreciation for all the love and support we've given over the years. It's a gift to be cared for by those we love, and accepting that care with grace is a beautiful part of the journey. If this resonates with you, or if you found ways to manage this fear, please feel free to share your thoughts. Sometimes, simply knowing that others feel the same way can be a source of comfort. We're all in this together, and sharing our experiences can help lighten the load for everyone.